Hello, 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 everybody. How are you all this evening? Here I am. How art thou? Setting a few things up as we get ready for the live stream in 13 minutes or so. It's another week gone by. We're getting close to Thanksgiving, and uh, hate to see what's going on uh, with COVID and it altering everybody's Thanksgiving plans. I really think that okay, this is going to be a controversial opinion probably, but I think with holidays you got to give some sort of latitude. I agree everybody should be safe. I agree we should all do our part to be safe, but really I don't like them messing with the holidays. It's just my take. It's not a sports take, it's a life take. Do what thou wilt with that. Hello, Sean D. How are you, sir? Uh, really don't, I really don't pay attention to the modern sports world all that much. I know the Bucks are doing well, and that's nice and all that, but it just doesn't feel the same since the world changed March 11th, 2020, when we all realized, oh, we're in the COVID soup, and life has kind of devolved from there, if you ask me. But that's just my opinion, and it's just one person's look at it in the world in terms of, as opposed to the 7 billion of us who live on this planet. But we have a good game tonight. We have Detroit Buffalo. We got a couple of Hall of Fame running backs. We got the Juice and we got Barry Sanders. Of course, Juice is another controversial figure that you really gotta be careful when you talk about O.J. Simpson. Um, I worked in radio during the time of the O.J. trial. I was a 23-year-old tot in 1994. And at first we couldn't believe that Simpson had done this. And we thought, most of us fans thought, well, no way OJ could have done it. Killed his wife and killed the wife's boyfriend. And we were all thinking, no way, no way, no way. Then you look at the DNA evidence and say, yeah, he did it. He did it. But the cops were sloppy. And they did. There was one gentleman who lied in court, and that wound up being the case. You have a good radio voice. Yeah, I worked in syndicated radio mostly in the Tampa Bay area from 1989 to 1996. But like many things, first off, I wouldn't recommend anybody getting into radio now, mainly because it's all automation now. A good radio job is not too hard to is too hard to find these days. What happened in 1996, and the reason why I stopped being in radio, was that the FCC said you could own various ownership groups like say Clear Channel, CBS, what have you. They could all own more radio stations, so you could make a living in the early mid 90s working for just the mom and pop radio stations. But once that happened, it was all she wrote. Plus, my mom and a boyfriend of hers were moving to Atlanta, and they had a bunch. My mother's boyfriend at the time was an electrician, and we wound up getting work, getting a lot of these businesses set up for the Atlanta Olympics. And once the Olympics passed, there was no need for us to be in Georgia anymore, so we moved back down to Florida. One of the many things that happened in my life. I lived in Marietta, Georgia for, let's see, from February to November of 1996. And then a few years later, I lived in Charlotte for a little while. Charlotte, North Carolina, a very beautiful part of the country. If you've ever been to it, where Carolina Panthers are, of course, and the Charlotte. Are they the Charlotte Hornets again? Yes, they are. Of course, they were the New Orleans Hornets for a bit, and then they gave the name back and became the Charlotte Hornets. And they built a very big basketball arena for the Charlotte Hornets, and they don't even use it anymore. It's old hat now. I think they tore it down. The big Coliseum, the 23,000 seat Coliseum that was on the lower left side of the city. Of course, Charlotte didn't have the perimeter, kind of like Atlanta does. Uh, then in 1988, when they first got the Hornets, so the arena was kind of hard to get to. But if they had just stuck with that site, which is a little south of the Charlotte airport, would have paid off nicely for them. But they built a new arena for the Hornets, and they play downtown now. Of course, Charlotte was where they were going to have the Republican convention, and because of COVID, that didn't work out. We're back up to 82 subscribers. Just wanted to mention that, which I think is pretty good for a channel. Sports, basically a sports table game played on a computer channel. I'm bobbling my head like the members of the media do whenever they ask questions of the politicos. Uh, I think it's good for this little hobby to have 82 subscribers in a few months. If you have interesting content, and we try to do interesting content with the HTFL and with the OOTP stuff, and the Grand Slam Wrestling and the Franchise Hockey Manager. And pretty soon we might be just down to doing Grand Slam Wrestling for a bit. Although I'm going to pause that over the holidays for a few weeks and then start Grand Slam Wrestling again. The week between Christmas and New Year's. Just to give that a little break and to focus in on my HTFL product, which is winding down too. We're going to do 5 games every week. We're coming down from 10 games a week now to 5 because I want to get the project over with, because I've been doing this. I was looking at a YouTube video earlier today. I started this back on May 9th, and here we are. It's November 20th, and I just think I think in terms of seeing the teams, I think we've seen all the teams that we've seen everybody play at least a few times, and I think it's time just to get the project done as fast as possible. We're going to do 4 games, 5 games next week. Now, I won't be doing a game Thanksgiving Day. I'll do a game Saturday morning or something. Then the next 4 weeks we'll wrap up the regular season. Then we do all the playoff games. 16 teams make the playoffs, and you're going to see all 15 games. But I think, if you watch the NFL every week, they don't show you all 16 games. There's no way they could do it. They can't just put 16 games on 16 different channels, or, use maybe 6, 7, 8 channels at a time to show you all the games. They don't do it that way. You get to see maybe one game. You see one game Thursday night. You see 2 games Sunday afternoon, which depending on wherever you live, that's what you get to see. Like if you live in Tampa, you'll probably get to see the Bucks play. Although the Bucks play on Monday night this week against the Rams, real life. So you get the Sunday night game and you get the Monday night game. You get 5 games a week, and I think it was foolish for me to overextend myself and play, all the games there are. I think I should have just kept it simple. I should have done what Uncle Ron did with the 78 replay on Action PC Baseball and just pick 1 game a day, do it, 1 game a day, do it, 1 game a day, do it. And I think that's how I should have processed along. Next year, I'm not going to make that mistake again. Next year, we're going to do this in September, and we're just going to go through the season just like similar to what the NFL does with their season, the 2021 season, 2021 2022. So we're down to 3 minutes. Anybody want me to talk about something real fast? I know you're not going to see this for another 20 seconds. There's about a 20-second lag in the video that I do, and I know I am aware of it. Let's just say, like I'm seeing myself, and it's like about 20 seconds ago. I always like when I do the live streams coming on for about 15 minutes and just chatting. Just tell you what to look for, and just do the game and then get on out of here. I've been doing these games rather quickly as of late. I've been averaging less than an hour a game. So we try to move fast, but I try to move fast, but I also try to make it entertaining for everybody. Sorry, I'm coughing. Um, what else is there going on in the world? Well, I mean, other than the obvious, we have a president, but we're not really sure yet that the president everybody says is going to be president is going to be president, but because there are legal challenges still outstanding. What else is going on in the world? I've been listening to the 605 Super podcast. I like that podcast. I listen to it every time I get. And they're going over the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame. Never read Wrestling Observer. I know it gets a lot of talk, and I know a lot of the smart people, the smarts in wrestling, read Wrestling Observer, but I never have, oddly enough. So we're getting down to it. We're getting down to about a minute before I start doing the game. Part two of that, they go over, well, so and so should have been in the Hall of Fame, but not this guy. He shouldn't have been in the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame. It's like an 8 hour discussion about who should be in a magazine's Hall of Fame and who shouldn't. It's very particular. I will say. I'm not going to say it's nerdy because I can follow the logic as to why certain people shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame and some should not. So 30 seconds, stand by. We'll get this show on the road. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims proudly presents the final game of Week 13 in the HTFL. Tonight, we have not Baltimore, Buffalo taking on Detroit. Sorry about that, folks. I'm Big Paulie coming to you, and this is what happens when you do a live stream. Sometimes you mess up, and it's on tape for all the world to see. So, we'll get this game started. Buffalo and Detroit. It's the Juice against Barry Sanders. And let me just see where I'm at here. You gotta laugh at yourself sometimes, folks. Otherwise, you just go soft in the head. Detroit's a 4-point favorite. Indoors at Ford Field. Computer runs Buffalo. I will run Detroit. I'll take the opening and the one to toss, and I'll take the ball. Jim Kelly and Matthew Stafford are your quarterbacks. Marv Levy and George Wilson, your coaches. O.J. Simpson coming in at 947 yards. Barry Sanders coming in at 1039. So this ought to be a good game, even just for the matchup of two Hall of Fame running backs. Watkins, Bach, and Walker back deep for Detroit. Come on, Paulie. Wake up a little bit.
Holding, receiving team.
Hunter called for holding, And that's going to back Detroit up a little bit to their 13-yard line. We'll give you the rest of the Detroit lineup. It is Sanders, Taylor, Moore, Johnson, Sanders at tight end, Charlie Sanders, Stafford at quarterback, Brown, Stanfield, Glover, Sewell, Creekmore are your offensive linemen. For Detroit, it is Smith, Schobel, Sestak, and Washington in the front four. Bennett, Matsos, and Talley, your linebackers. Bird, Clements, Jones, and Symes are your defensive back, and it looks like they could be thrown upon. Now, Buffalo is a combination of the Buffalo Bills 1960 onward that have played in the AFL and NFL, but they also contain members of the Buffalo Bills of the AAFC, which was around from 1946 to 1949 before they merged, sort of, with the NFL. Barry Sanders on the dive, and we'll get this game started. Sanders straight ahead. Smith on the tackle after a gain of 8. Let's take a look at how Detroit has done. No, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Hang on, folks. Here is their game by game. They started out 0-2. They lost to Chicago and Washington. First win was against Minnesota, then a win over Green Bay, then a win over Detroit. Fourth win was against Cleveland, and they have lost 2 since. All of their wins, except the Houston win, have been by 3 points. So their 4 wins were by 19 points. We'll look at Buffalo a little later. Pitch left Sanders on 2nd and 2. Sanders into the open, 30-35 to the 36-yard line. Last week, which was actually 2 weeks ago, Barry Sanders in the Thanksgiving game against Atlanta ran for 281 and broke the single game record here in the HTFL. Trap left Barry on 1st and 10 now from the 36, and he is stuffed at the line by Sestak. We'll go to Golden Tate on the medium cross on 2nd and 10. And instead it's a dump off to Herman Moore, who gains 5, setting up a 3rd and 5 situation. They'll put a man in motion, go short, and look to Calvin Johnson. Buffalo playing in bunched, a short, tight defense, so we're going to go Johnson to medium fly and see if they can beat the coverage. And they do. A gain of 13 yards. Odom's on the stop. And it's 1st and 10, Detroit keeping the ball moving. Back to Sanders, off tackle right, but a marker before the play could be called.
Offense. Number 9, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
And they get the quarterback Stafford for a false start, and it's 1st and 15. They'll stick with Barry Sanders, not to be confused with Charlie Sanders, the tight end. A trap to the right side, which I think is what we called before. Sanders finds a hole and gets 7 yards. He's already at 4 carries and 30 yards on the day. This is how he got started against Atlanta last week, well, the week of the season, not the technical week, the calendar week. This is why I'm going to be playing just 5 games a week, because I think it just confuses everybody. Alty Taylor gets it on a dive, 2nd and 8. That's a gain of 2. Schobel on the tackle, and it's 3rd and 6. Charlie Sanders, a short cross. He's wearing 88. A sack by Darryl Talley.
Number 75, 10-yard penalty.
Penalty will be declined because it was holding against Detroit anyway. So Detroit punts, and Earl the Pearl, in the punt from the 47. He's looking for the sideline, and it goes out of bounds at the 12. 1st and 10 at the 12. For Buffalo, we have 9:53 left, opening quarter, and no score. For Buffalo's offense, Simpson and Tomasetti are the running backs. Molds and Reed, the wideouts. Bass at tight end. Kelly at quarterback. Wolford, Delamalier, Hull, Shaw, Ballard are your offensive line. For Detroit, Porcher, Baker, Karras, and Brown, your linebackers. Walker, Schmidt, and Williams, your linebackers. I'm sorry, Brochet, Baker, Karras, and Brown are your front four. I was thinking ahead. Walker, Schmidt, Williams, your linebackers. Larry, Dahl, Hunter, and Quinn, your defensive backs. Let's see what Buffalo can do. Well, we're going to have to wait on that.
Offense. Number 64, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Joe DeLamalure called for the false start. And it's 1st and 15 at the 7. Incomplete. Larry got in front of that pass intended for Andre Reed. And let's show you Buffalo's season so far. Started out with a miraculous win against Philadelphia, 37-34. They were down 34-20 with about 5 minutes to go. They got a couple of touchdowns to tie. Philadelphia fumbled very late in the fourth quarter. Buffalo pounced on it. We're in field goal range right away. They kicked the field goal. They won. Their second win, they lost 4 in a row. Then they beat New England 34-10. That game's on the HTFL playlist if you can find it. The third win came after 2 more losses. That was over Pittsburgh, 37-24. Then they won 2 in a row for the first time all year with a 24-21 win over Atlanta. And then they lost to St. Louis last week, 38-31. 2nd and 15 at the 7. Here's Jim Kelly. Deep throw, but incomplete. Hunter on the coverage and nearly intercepted that. They bring in Stevie Johnson. He'll be the third wideout. He's wearing 13 on 3rd and 15. That's caught, a first down to Bass. A pickup of 16 and a first down. 1st and 10 at the 23. Kelly. Incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10 at the 23. Both teams at 4 and 7 coming into this game. That is Kevin Bass again, 19 yards. Can I say Kevin Bass? Glenn Bass. I'm sorry, folks. He's already made 2 big catches today. 1st and 10 at the 42. Might be the last time we see 2 losing teams play each other in the regular season here on the HTFL series. Gain of 4 as Kelly scrambled from the pocket. Dahl made the tackle. 2nd and 6 at the 46. Kelly. That is caught by Molds, and it is short by a few inches. So on 3rd and inches, they bring in Ernie Warlick. Warlick. I'm sorry, folks. I just had the cough there. And again, I can't bring him up. Hold on. We're going to get to him one of these days. Yes, you see him there. He's out of North Carolina Central, played on the teams of the early 60s. It is 3rd and inches. OJ stuffed at the line. He loses a yard. And it's 4th and inches. 4th and 1 at the 49. I will watch for the fake punt. I'll let it roll. Watkins called for the fair catch at the 11, and Detroit starts from there. We have no score and 5:58 left in the opening quarter. Trap right Sanders. And another big game for Barry. He picks up 12. Barry Sanders on the year, 1039, and he's got 42 tonight to get him to 1081, and he's also had 34 catches out of the backfield for 260 yards and 4 touchdowns. And as Barry has gone, it seems like so has Detroit gone. Pitch right, Barry, on 1st and 10 now from the 23. That's a big loss there.
Offense. Number 76, 10-yard penalty.
Creekmore called for holding on top of that, and that's going to be declined, actually. They'll take the 5-yard loss. 2nd and 15 off tackle right, Barry, and he'll get some of those yards back. Put him at 43 on the day after that 6-yarder. And it's 3rd and 9 at the 24. Sanders, a medium slant route. He's wide open there. Gain of 17. Let's check the marker.
Offsetting penalties.
Oh, coming
Repeat.
back.
Third down.
It's a do-over, 3rd and 9, thanks to the setting penalties. We'll go Barry on a screen. And despite being flushed out of the pocket, he got it to him.
Pass interference. Offense.
Oh,
20,
they get
10-yard penalty.
Barry Sanders for pass interference. Hello. 3rd and 19, so they will just draw something up here. They'll go to Calvin Johnson long. Buffalo playing deep, and the pass goes incomplete. 4th and 19, so Earl Morrill comes out to punt. I imagine he could also play quarterback, since that's what he was best known for. A decent return for Bird, 9 yards to the 49. The punt went 46, so the net was 37. 1st and 10, 3:38 to go. Opening quarter, no score. Hello, Sean D., who dropped by while I was doing my little pregame Chatterooski. Buffalo with the ball. This is Tomasetti gaining 2 yards. And Walker with the tackle. Wayne Walker for Detroit. 2nd and 8 at the 49. Also kicked for the Lions for several years, Wayne Walker. Kelly to Bass incomplete. He could not hold on. 3rd and 8 at the 49. This is Bass, but Kelly threw it into traffic, tipped by Quinn. And now Buffalo will have to punt. I'm going to watch for the fake, considering the field position. That's a sideline punt. Going to the 10 was Mormon, and the punt goes 39. The return, nothing, not a zilch, and Detroit gets it with 2:38 to go. Dive, Barry Sanders. We have no score. And we have Barry Sanders scorching the secondary for a 20-yard gain. It's now 1st and 10 at the 30. Keep going to Barry. Off tackle right. No gain. Bird tripped them up. Barry Sanders now, so far today, 9 carries and 63 yards. Herman Moore will get this, a medium crossing route, but a blitz is coming, so it's going to be a medium slant. Sanders, I believe that was Barry Sanders catching that underneath for a 6-yard gain, and looking at the stat box, that would be true because he has one catch. He has 1 catch for 6 yards. Sweep it left, Barry, 3rd and 4. Curious call here. Barry's going to get the first. Blew by a couple of defenders and gained 12 yards. 10 carries and 75 yards for Barry. At the end of the first quarter, it is no score. Buffalo with 11 plays and 46 yards. Detroit has called 15 and has gained 96. Sanders, off tackle right. A gain of 4. Bird makes the tackle. Sanders, a screen. Goes to him. He got it. That's his 2nd catch of the day. He gains 13. And now Buffalo in business at the Detroit in business at the Buffalo 35. We'll go Calvin Johnson on the long slant. A sack by Sestak. And a big one, an 11-yard loss. And that's now a 2nd and 21 situation. Screen to Alty Taylor. And this will gain some of that yardage back, 7 of the 22. Setting Buffalo up to 39. Hitch by Sanders. Sanders is off. 31 yards to the 8. Charlie Sanders. And Stafford is red hot. At the start of this game, he is 6 for 7, 75 yards. Now, of course, you're going to give it to Sanders here, right? Trap left on first and goal from the 8. But he gets back to the line, loses a yard, in fact, and Sestak again with the big tackle. Now a second and goal at the 9. Sanders, trap left. Back to the line, and that's it again. No gain. Third and goal. Well, we got some weapons we could throw to. How about Calvin Johnson on the short cross? Third and goal from the 9. That's a touchdown to Herman Moore. See it here again. And there it is. Herman Moore with the touchdown. It's 6-0 Detroit. Your point after by Eddie Murray is good. 7-0. 9:41 left, second quarter. McGee, Merton, Jackson back deep for Buffalo. McGee's gonna... No, I think that's McGee taking it. Yes, 15 yards to the 19. First and 10 at the 19 for Buffalo as they start. A little dink out to Tomasetti, who gains 7. Second and 3 at the 26. Tomasetti again. He's got the first down, a pickup of 5. Wondering about Tomasetti a little bit. Yes, he was one of those original Buffalo Bills. You see him there. He was out of Bucknell. Handsome young man. First and 10 at the 31. A throw looking for Bass, but incomplete. Quinn was hurt, but he stays in the game. Second and 10 at the 31. OJ picks up 3 yards. It's only his second carry of the day for 2 yards, so the OJ Berry duel has not really metastasized yet. Third and 7 at the 34. Throw to Andre Reed, a gain of 8. Good for the first down. First and 10 at the 42. Kelly looking deep to Tomasetti, but incomplete. Bourche provided good coverage for Detroit. And it is second and 10. The ball resting at the 42. Still. OJ gets it on a pitch. Close to the first down. Picks up 9. Third and a yard. Ball at the 49 of Detroit. Tomasetti got the first down, but barely. And it's first and 10 at the 48. 5:29 left in the opening half. That's a throw to Bass. Daddy saying Bass and Mama saying Tenor. Gain of 13 yards. First and 10 at the 35. Probably been sung by a lot of country artists, but Johnny Cash is the one that comes to mind. Johnny Cash and June Carter and a whole bunch of others. Gain of 5. Second and 5 at the 30. You ever want to listen to a good album, listen to Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison. Second and 5 at the 30. Loss of 9. That's my musical recommendation to you all. Loss of 9 as they go to Bass on an end around, and Baker was right there. Baker was able. Third and 14 at the 39. I happened to get the Folsom Prison album right around the time Walk the Line came out. Good stuff. Drop the pass. 4th and 14, so Buffalo's going to punt. Not a deep punt at all. It goes out of bounds at the 13. The punt went 26 yards as Mormon was aiming for the sideline. So we're down to 2:32 left in the half. It is 7-0. Back to Berry. Because Berry is like... Berry's kind of a double-edged sword. He was kind of, he played in the same era when Michael Jordan was playing for the Bulls. And when you got Michael Jordan, the temptation is to get him the ball all the time. And it's kind of the same situation here with Barry Sanders. You want to get him a lot of carries. It's 14 carries now and 88 yards. We'll go to the 2-minute warning. It's 7-0 Lions leading, and the Bills and Lions each have all 3 timeouts. And I'm going to cough again, folks, so stand by. First and 10. It's going to be Calvin Johnson on the slant with a blitz being called, so this is going to work out well. Incomplete. Didn't work out that well. And Stafford now 7 of 9. You're wondering about Jim Kelly. He's 6 of 14 and 69 yards. Pitch to Barry on 2nd and 10. Back to the line, and that's it.
Offsides, defense. Number 94, 5-yard penalty.
Schobel called for the offside. 2nd and 5. They'll go Calvin Johnson on and out. And something happened there. A fumble. Brown pounced on the fumble. Loss of 10, so it's going to be 3rd and 15 from the 18. Well, I'm just going to give it to Sanders and force Buffalo to call a timeout. Sanders picks up 8, and Buffalo does call a timeout. They'll have 1 left. Barry might wind up finishing the half at 15 carries and 96 yards. Morrill will boom it. And that is a return of 4 by Burv Namoff. On the tackle, the punt went 44, so the net was 40. 1:28 left in the half. Buffalo with 1 timeout. They're at their own 34. First and 10. Over the middle to Bass. Gain of 18. Not going to use my timeouts. Will Buffalo use theirs? Yes, their last timeout. Minute 20. First and 10 at the Detroit 48. Incomplete.
Personal foul. Defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
And Detroit just not playing very disciplined right now. A personal foul, so it's first and 10 at the 33. OJ. Gain of 6. Schmidt on the tackle. A minute 7. 2nd and 4. Kelly spikes the ball to preserve some time. 3rd and 4 to 27. A forced fumble after the catch by Bass. Larry forced the fumble, but Moles was Johnny on the spot. And Buffalo now at the Detroit 11 with 48 seconds to go. Touchdown. Bass. Glenn Bass has made it a 7-6 game with 32 seconds left. Buffalo with a quick drive, 5 plays, 66 yards, 56 seconds. And Lindell just put that through, Lion Lindell. And I'll do a safe return here. 2 yards deep, we'll return it. And the return out to the 22.
Receiving team, 10-yard penalty.
24 yards. Wayne Walker called for the hold. Stafford will just take a knee, and we'll get to the second half. We're tied 7-7 going into halftime. And if you'll excuse me a moment, I am just going to pause, grab a sip of water, and I will be right back. Stand by, folks. So we go to the third quarter, dead even tie, 7-7. And here we go. Buffalo 139 yards. They have run 28 plays. Detroit 26 plays and 155. McGee back deep. Took it at about the goal line, moved it up past the 20 to the 21. The return will go down at 21 yards. Jim Kelly starts out 9 of 18, 144 yards and a touchdown. First and 10 at the 21. Incomplete. Ballard was hurt. He's the right tackle.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Incomplete. A timeout will be charged.
Buffalo challenged to see if that was a completion. It was not. So they lose their challenge. Barber comes in. No, that is not Barber. It's doing it to me again. Stu Barber comes in. And he will play at right tackle for a bit. On 2nd and 10 at the 21, Kelly looking for Andre Reed, but he was tightly matched by Yale Larry, incomplete. 3rd and 10 at the 21. Gain of 18, Andre Reed from Kelly, and that's a first down, enough to move the sticks. 1st and 10 at the 39. Here's OJ. The juice hasn't gotten loose yet. A gain of 5. That was only his 6th carry. He has 27 yards. 2nd and 5 at the 44. Bass again. Bass having a big day. He's over 100 yards receiving now on that 7th catch of his. A gain of 9 there. Quinn on the tackle for Detroit. So Buffalo has something going again. Bass wide open again. 20, 10, 5. Book it. Touchdown. Longest catch of the year, 47 yards, so he's up to 149 on the game. 13-7. Bills leading. Going after is good by Lindell, 14-7. I don't think he's any relation to the My Pillow guy, but I could be wrong. Watkins, Fennenbach, and Walker back deep. Going to be Watkins at the 4, out to the 24, but an illegal block by Quinn, and Detroit starts at their own 11. They'll give it to Barry, because he's been the offense so far today. 15 carries and almost 100 yards. We'll go over 100 here. Gain of 14 and put him at 110. The crowd acknowledges is another 100-yard effort for Barry. Pitch right, Barry Sanders, which we're going to change to a long fly to Calvin Johnson here. Incomplete. Coverage converging on Johnson there. They saw that Buffalo had scrunched in and played short and tight, so Stafford just tried to throw it over everybody, and it didn't work. Sweep right, Barry. 2nd and 10. Gain of 4. Schobel on the stop. 3rd and 6 at the 29-yard line. Charlie Sanders will be the intended receiver here. Incomplete. Stafford is now 7 out of 11, and Buffalo imposing their will on both sides of the ball. Morrill back to punt. A short punt taken on the run by Bird. 13-yard gain. The punt went 41. So the net was 28. You got OJ. OJ is the under center, so he gets it in the shotgun formation. And I'm sure that Buffalo will be keying on him here on the running play. Simpson going to throw? What's he going to do? Oh, it's caught! Simpson threw it to Tomasetti for 26 yards. How about that? O.J. Simpson completes a pass. 1st and 10 at the 31. Now they go back to O.J. the conventional way. He's got a first down. He's inside the 15 to the 14, a gain of 17. You could see Buffalo gaining confidence with every play now. 1st and 10 at the 14. Simpson gives it to 83. Reed, he has a touchdown. Andre Reed runs it in from 14 yards out, and it's 20-7. Your point after, good. And Buffalo feeling charged and energized. 2 straight touchdowns out of off the bat here in the second half, and it's 21-7 with 8:21 left in the third quarter. Watkins, Fennenbach, and Walker back deep. Looks like it's going to Watkins at about the 5. He moves it up. He caught it at the 6, moved it to the 19. So now if you're Detroit, you got to change your game plan a little bit and start throwing it more. Here's Calvin. Over the middle, but he dropped it. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10. We'll go medium fly route to Charlie Sanders. Stafford. Intercepted by Clements. But it's going to come back.
Number 70, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Sestak roughed the passer. And Detroit gets new life. 1st and 10 at the 34. But they want to keep throwing here. Short out to Charlie Sanders. He's got it. 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. Down at the 29. A gain of 37. Nice job by Charlie Sanders. Taylor will go wide. Sanders will block. And they'll look to Calvin on a medium slant. And this time, Charlie Johnson was open. Calvin Johnson. I said Charlie Johnson? Gain of 20, and now Buffalo backed up to their own 9. Now you go with Barry. Trap right. And nothing doing there. They'll go 4 wide. And Billy Sims has entered the game. They'll go to him on a short pass. Touchdown, Herman Moore. And that's his 2nd of the day. 21-14 your score. So more. How do you like him? 5:24 left now, 3rd quarter. And it goes back to Buffalo. This kickoff taken at about the 3 by McGee. Takes it out 20 yards to the 23. 1st and 10, 5:17 to go. Buffalo now hanging on to a 7-point lead.
Personal foul, defense. Number 56, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Joe Schmidt. Holy Schmidt. He picks up the personal foul, and it's 1st and 10 at the 38. 5:11 to go. OJ. Gains 7. Dahl makes the tackle for Detroit. 2nd and 3 at the 45. Gain of a yard. 3rd and 2. Ball to 46. They give it to OJ. Just short of the first down, but he does go over 1,000 on the season. 1,001. No odyssey there. 4th and inches. I'm going to watch for the fake punt. 4th and inches, you'd think that'd be kind of obvious. That punt goes through the end zone. 52 yards. It's a touchback. 1st and 10 at the 20. Pitch to Barry. Well, it's a trap to Barry. A gain of a yard. Moore. Medium out on 2nd and 9. Incomplete. Clements is coming out of the game. One of the corners. So Nate Odoms out of Wisconsin comes in as his substitute. We're going to go Herman Moore, slant, 3rd and 9, not a first down. So Morrow quickly on to punt after the 3 and out. Short punt. Taken on the run by Bird, he gained 8. The punt only went 30, so the net was only 22. And now Buffalo in good shape again. 2:08 left, 3rd quarter. They lead 21-14. Bass with the catch, a gain of 10. Delamalure was injured on the play. I'm not going to challenge here. Only a 23% chance I make it. 159 on the day for Bass. Reggie McKenzie comes in to substitute for Delamalure. 1st and 10 at the 33. Incomplete. Delamalure comes back in. 2nd and 10 at the 33. Incomplete. 3rd and 10 at the 33. Incomplete.
Illegal contact, defense.
But they're going to get a first down out of it. Schmidt with the illegal contact.
Penalty, automatic, first down.
Oy, oy, oy. Detroit just giving it away right now. 1st and 10 at the 28. The throw to Tomasetti and a gain of 8. Setting up 2nd and 2 at the 20. 1 yard gain. Third and a yard at the 19. Simpson a first down. Gain of 6. That'll do it for the third quarter. It's 21-14 in favor of Buffalo. 44 plays. 46 plays called by Buffalo, 310 yards. 38 plays called by Detroit. They have gained 240. First and 10 at the 13 as Buffalo tries to pad their lead. Simpson. Gain of a yard. Simpson is now at 13 carries and 62 yards. Second and 9 at the 12. They give it to OJ. OJ has himself 6 points. Touchdown. From USC, the juice got loose finally, and it's 27-14. Your point after. Good by Lindell. 28-14 with 14:15 left in the fourth. Here's your kickoff, Watkins. Return from about the goal line.
Holding. Receiving team.
That is Yale Larry committing a penalty. And Detroit not helping themselves out right now. A considerable deal. They have a first and 10 from the 8. Off tackle right, Barry Sanders. He gains 7. He's up to 122. Play action long pass. Looking for Calvin Johnson. Blitz coming, so let's just chuck it up there. Got it away, but incomplete.
Offsides. Defense. Number 92, 5-yard penalty.
The defense gives Detroit the first down at the 20. Moore, short out. Barry Sanders on the dump, 40, 50, 45, 40, down to the 37. He picked up 43. His longest catch of the year. And that gives him 3 catches and 62 yards on today. Screen to Alty Taylor. A blitz coming. And Alty Taylor with a lot of running room. 30, 20, 14-yard line. Gain of 23. Well, let's strike while the iron is hot. Medium slant, Charlie Sanders on first and 10 from the 14. Off his hands, incomplete. Moore, medium out. On second down. Moore's got it. He's got his 3rd touchdown of the day. Herman Moore. Has made it 28-20. Stafford now 13-21, 230, and 3 touchdowns. All of them to Herman Moore. Extra point try. Murray is good. 28-21, and we have 11:09 to go as we keep going back and forth. Here's the kickoff. McGee, who is a return threat. Past the 30, past the 40 to the 44, but
10-yard penalty.
You heard it there. A holding penalty is going to back Buffalo back up to the 11. 10:55 left in regulation time. Schmidt on the stop. Tomasetti, a 5-yard gain. Tomasetti, by the way, 4 carries, 13 yards, 3 catches, 41 yards. Second and 5 at 16. At the 16. Here's OJ. Short of the first down, a gain of 5, but he did not quite just reach that first down marker. So it's going to be 3rd and inches at the 21, and trench warfare will be engaged in. Simpson. I think he was stuffed. No, he did get the first down. I'm going to challenge the spot.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. A timeout will be charged.
And it didn't. It backfired. Had a 68% chance of a successful challenge, but not to be. First and 10 at the 21. Tomasetti picks up 2.
Offsides. Defense. Number 91, 5-yard penalty.
Porsche with the offsides call. First and 5 at the 26. Reed picks up 7 yards. First and 10 at the 33. Simpson, a gain of 10. First and 10 at the 43. Simpson No pickup. 2nd and 10 at the 43. 7:44 to go now. Simpson on the pitch. No gain. And Simpson's been hurt. He's out for the game. So Thurman Thomas has to come in and spell him the remainder of the way. He has had 19 carries, 102 yards, no scores. He has had 25 catches and 155 yards. So Thurman Thomas now, after OJ has injured his elbow and will be out the rest of the game, a 3rd and 10 at the 43. Incomplete, looking for Bass. That's his 4th drop of the day. So, Detroit's going to get it back with 6:55 left. A short punt. Norman, a 34-yard punt. Watkins counted at the 23 on a fair catch. $6:49 to go. It's a 1st and 10 for Detroit. Off tackle right. Heavy blitz being called, so we're going to go Alty Taylor on the screen. They get it to him, and it's a pickup of 11. Alty Taylor now, 2 catches, 30 yards on the day, and Matthew Stafford goes over 3,000 on the year. Another milestone achieved. Hitch to Herman Moore. Incomplete, which brings up 2nd and 10. Sewell remains in the game after a possible injury. Screen to Berry. Caught, but he did not get too far. A loss of 3. Talley made the stop. Moore. Incomplete. 4th and 13. Detroit will punt with 5:10 to go. Too early to go for it. Bird, after the punt went 45, returned it 2 yards. So Buffalo gets it back. We have 5:05 left. Ball to 26. Remember, Thurman Thomas in the rest of the way. Tomasetti, no gain. 2nd and 10 at the 26. Here's Thurman. Thurman was a great runner in his day, and that's just short of the first. He picked up 10. So now defense for Detroit. 3rd and inches at the 36. They give it to Thomas. He got the first down. Pickup of a yard. And you could see right away that the chains were going to move. 3:22 left. 1st and 10 at the 37. Gain of 1. I'm not using my timeouts yet. 2nd and 9. We go to the 2-minute warning. It's 28-21 Buffalo. Now I use my timeouts. Tomasetti, a yard gain. Here's one of the timeouts that I had. And the missed challenge really killed me too. Earlier in the quarter. 3rd and 8 at the 39. Thurman, not much doing. He loses 2 yards, and Detroit will call its last timeout with a $1:45 to go. We'll set up for the return. It's going to land inside the 20. We'll hope for a good return, and no such luck. Watkins loses a yard on the return. The punt went 42, the net 43. So the situation is this. Detroit has to go 80 yards with no timeouts and 1:39 on the clock. Golden Tate on the medium out. They go to Sanders instead, who gains 7. And Stafford again being reminded that he went over 3,000 yards. Johnson, medium out. A blitz coming, but we're going to stick with the play. Because we lose a lot of time, we go over the middle of the field. There's Sanders, he got the first, but the clock's going to move with 1:27. Sanders, short out. Just try to get it out of bounds. Stafford picks up 11. And that time continuing to move, 1:10. Johnson, medium out. That's incomplete, and that's a blessing for Detroit because that stops the clock finally with 54 seconds to go. Bomb to Johnson. See if we can catch Buffalo napping. Stafford running. I didn't need him to do that. He gained 9. 48 seconds. No huddle. Short out Tate. Complete by Tate. He did not get out of bounds. Just spike the ball, Manny. And we are going to wind up with 28 seconds to go. Going to go long out to Johnson. A sack. Sestak. 21 seconds. It's third down. We're going to have to spike it and hope we have enough time. And we will have time for one more play. 9 seconds to go. And this is the ball game. Nothing left to do here. We're just going to have to chuck this baby up and hope for the best. And I don't have Aaron Rodgers on my team. No, do not call this play as called, because I'm going to call it again. Okay. Clace Box is in as the fifth wide receiver, in case you were worried or wondering about that. Clace Box. We'll go to Johnson, and here we go. Detroit needs a prayer. There's the throw. Incomplete. The game is over, and Buffalo's going to win. 28-21. So Buffalo to 5-7, and Detroit to 4-8. MVP of the game was Glenn Bass, who caught 2 touchdowns. The first and second scores for Buffalo, as you see them there. 361 yards for Detroit, for Buffalo, who scored 3 touchdowns to 3 trips. They were in the red zone. Detroit also went 3 out of 3 with 3 touchdowns. They had 365. 16 penalties in the game, 62 plays called by Buffalo, and 56 called by Detroit. Your player stats, Stafford had the best rating. You see O.J. Simpson, 1 for 1, 26 yards. Stafford went 18 of 32 for 255. He was sacked 4 times, but threw for 3 touchdowns. 3 of his passes were over 25 yards. Barry Sanders had the better running day, 20 of 122. His longest gain was 20. Glenn Bass, the leader in receptions and reception yardage, 9 for 159, and his longest was 47. Leading tackler was, we had 4 guys with 7. Talley and Bird for Buffalo, Schmidt and Dahl for Detroit. That's how this ends. And we'll show you the standings, even though we will show you them again on the recap show when we do that Monday at 6:30. Detroit, if I can find them, they are 4-8, and they are going to be well out of the playoff chase. The closest, they're 3 back with 4 to play behind Cleveland. Cleveland right now would be the 4 seed. Buffalo is 5-7, and they're only 2 back with 4 to play, but they'll have to catch up either New England or St. Louis. Dallas in between them at 6-6. So, as I was mentioning, the recap show will be 6:30 Monday night before we do our first game of Week 14. I'm going to run you through 11 of the Week 14 games, and that will be Monday night, November 23rd. And tune in for that. Hope you enjoyed tonight's game. It was Detroit losing to Buffalo 28-21. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. We wish you well, no matter where you are and no matter when you see this. Godspeed and God bless. We'll do it all again soon.